hotels and apartments. He sometimes spent an hour or two at the news cafe watching the sunrise. The vibes were nice, mostly. It made a sharp contrast where he lived and worked. Trevelle's operation was based in an abandoned warehouse he had bought and converted into a high-tech fortress in the Overtown area of Miami. Low rent, high crime. He had views of a rundown liquor store, a crack house, and I-95. The rumble of freeway traffic a constant companion despite the thick walls and bulletproof triple-glazed windows. But no one bothered him there. That was the main attraction. Still, South Beach was where he felt truly at home. The vibes were chill if you knew where to look. European house music pulsating into the night air. He usually popped into the Deuce when it opened at 8. Maybe a Heineken with a passing barfly from out of town. A game of pool with whoever was in it that ungodly hour. The ping from his MacBook indicated he had a message. Trevelle assumed it was the file his hacker friend had resent. And it was. Before he could open it, a second notification pinged. This one contained a video automatically generated by his home surveillance system. The thermal sensor detectors had been activated. He clicked to open the file, slipping on his wireless headphones. Real-time, high-definition footage began to roll. Trevelle felt sick. 3 men in ski masks and surgical gloves, carrying flashlights, were inside his home. Their voices were low, speaking in a language he didn't understand. They fanned out, packing up all his laptops and devices, photographing the inside of the huge warehouse he called home. How the hell had they even gotten in? He had designed the warehouse to be impregnable. Perimeter intruder detection, CCTV, security lighting, and thermal sensors both inside and outside. He stared, transfixed, as one of the men disappeared. He returned a few moments later with a guy in a Tom Petty t-shirt and boxer shorts who was adjusting his glasses and squinting against the light. Trevelle had been so caught off guard by the breach that he'd forgotten that Fernandez, a genius hacker and one of his closest friends since MIT, was spending the night. Fernandez was in town to meet some financial guys who he hoped would fund his technology startup in one of the poorest areas of Miami. Was it possible the intruders were there for him? Through the headphones, Trevelle heard Fernandez sobbing. The masked man pressed a gun to Fernandez's head. Then he blew his brains out. Despite the silencer visible on the end of the gun, Trevelle was certain he heard the sound echoing off the stone walls of the warehouse, and that it would haunt him forever. 1. It was early in the evening, and Jon Reznick was shooting pool at a dive bar in Rockland, Maine. The woman across the table from him wore a tight-fitting Ramones t-shirt and was chewing gum. Reznick had been close to Gemma Frazier's brother, Mikey, back in their school days, and he'd always had a soft spot for Mikey's slightly wayward younger sister. Gemma lined up a shot but missed the 8-ball in a corner pocket. "Shoot! Bad luck. Tell me about it," she said, leaning on her pool cue. "It's the story of my life." Reznick gulped the rest of his draft beer and shook his head, smarter than to wade into those waters. Gemma flicked some hair out of her eyes and smiled. "Well, Mikey told me that you disappeared off the face of the planet after high school and were overseas for a while. Says you still won't talk about it. Says you're a goddamn fucking enigma wrapped up in a mystery or something." "I have no clue what you just said." Gemma burst out laughing. "Seems a shame we didn't run into each other sooner, though—" She gestured around at the bar. "I wouldn't have expected to see you back at the Myrtle anyway." It was Reznick's turn to smile. He checked his watch. "I really gotta go." She pouted. "Already? But we haven't finished our game." With a wink, she added, "And I'm winning." "I'd better quit while you're ahead, then. Gotta get up early tomorrow. Stuff to do." "Like what?" His cell phone rang. Reznick pulled his phone out of his pocket, expecting it to be Lauren. His daughter was at Bennington College in Vermont, and they usually spoke once a week. But instead of Lauren's cell number on the caller ID, a number he didn't recognize flashed on the screen. He looked up at Gemma. "I need to take this." "You want another beer?" "Put it on my tab." "That I can do." Gemma headed to the bar to order the drinks. Reznick walked to a quieter corner to take the call. The voice on the line was a whisper. "Hey, man, are you there? Reznick?" "Who's this?" "Your IT pal in Miami." Reznick recognized the voice of the high-level hacker he sometimes did business with. The kid kept a low profile, not surprisingly, but Reznick had found out that his name was Trevelle Williams and that he was a former National Security Agency cybersecurity expert. The kid had helped Reznick out of numerous tight spots and investigations that Reznick had worked on for the FBI,